be that you're in the office and you need to really focus on producing work for your manager, for your director, for your boss, whoever is higher up. It could also be that you need to produce good work for school. So are you a person who is in middle school? Are you in high school? Or are you like my other son? Are you in college and you actually need to focus on studying and listening attentively without any distractions? If you're somebody like that, then come on in, pull up a chair, and let's learn together, because the things I will share in this recording will help you be able to stay focused longer and get work done. All right, so let's start first with the definition of focus. So I Googled it, and Google says that the definition of focus is the action of focusing one's attention or mental effort to do something. So you're focusing all your attention, your effort to process something, to do something, to achieve an actual aim, right? So if that's what focusing is, then it brought to mind for me, why do we even need to stay focused, right? And those are some of the things that we've already tackled at the beginning, because you need to produce work. You need to do something. But then what is that defined as? That means that you have a goal that you need to achieve. And if you have a goal that you need to achieve, then that means, what's the definition of a goal, right? So a goal is defined as the objective of your ambition. I really love the way that sounds. I don't know, for me it sounds romantic, it sounds full, it sounds joyful, it sounds vibrant. So yeah, Google defined goal as the object of your ambition, of your desire, of your effort, of your aim, which means it could definitely be romantic. It could be just academic. It could also be career related. It could be financial. It could be marital. It could be anything that you want it to be. So what do you want your goal to be? Once you know what your goal is, once you know what you're aiming for, then that, my friend, is the object of your ambition. So, along with that, right, what are you trying to achieve? We've talked about goals, right? So now, for me, I'm going to now tell you how I've been able to achieve my goals in the past, right? In the past, I've done things like using time block. And time block is just taking your calendar and scheduling certain activities on certain days, and you block it out so that nothing else will take your time at that period. Like if you were using a Google Calendar, right, which is an electronic calendar, you'd actually say, okay, from 5 to 7 p.m., I will be studying. And from 7 p.m. to, let's say, 8, I will prep for the next day. That means you're getting your clothes ready for work or for school. That means you're also checking your bag to make sure that you have everything in it for the next day, because you don't know what would happen tomorrow. And that's why they always say, like, whatever we need to get done today, let's get it done, because we don't know what will happen tomorrow, right? So you will do things like that. That's time blocking. Of course, I am a little bit eclectic. So I love things like oils and candles, and incense, which is weird because I didn't like incense, and my dad used to like go around the house with the, is it called in Yoruba? It's called turari of Yoruba. I think of the celestial church, like, and then the whole house will be filled with fumes. But anyway, I digress. So I love incense. And like if I can get like a really good one, I could burn it as oil, but I could actually burn one of those like thin incense that you can get from Whole Foods. So you can use that to help set a mood so that your space is calm and quiet and relaxing when you are about to study. Another great thing for studying, which you may not realize, is that your space, if it is clean, if it is clear of clutter, would actually be conducive for you to focus and study. So take a few minutes before you start studying and just reorganize your area. And when I say reorganize, you don't even need to do anything fancy. Here's a hack that we use when we're organizing people and places, right? You can get boxes, and if you have those boxes handy, you can pretty much put things in the boxes that you're not currently using. That way you have it stored away and tidy, and at the same time, you're not taking the time to now start organizing those paper, but you have them put away somewhere. So next time you go to the office supply store, look for banker boxes. Those are really good to have handy at home, and I believe they're also cheap. At the same time, you may decide to keep all your boxes from Amazon. Don't keep too much, because then we don't want to keep clutter. So just keep a little for days you need to organize stuff. And then you have an organized space that's also clutter free, and that's good for focusing. Okay, all right, let's talk about music. I love music. Mozart, Beethoven, I love those, especially for when I'm at work and I need to focus on like a project. So I'll just put in my earbuds, I'll be listening to Mozart, Beethoven, any of those really classical type of songs I've found are really good for me. Like I can get work done for stretches. So from like 9 a.m., well, pre-COVID, 9 a.m. And to like 1 was when on my calendar, like I do all the mental stuff at work. So I don't know what your strategy is currently, but during COVID, I believe after, might have been like a conversation with one of my mentors or like a coach. I really studied myself and did an audit. I think I also have a blog on it on my Facebook, on my website. I did an audit of my time, and with the audit of my time, I was able to determine how I worked better. So how I work better is like from morning till about 1 to 2, I am the most productive. So if I'm the most productive when I hit the office at 8:30, and I'm like doing stuff until I'm not doing real work until 9, and I decided that at 9, from 9 to 1:30, I just power through and do all my mental work. And then from 1:30, I take my lunch break, I come back, I'm still doing work. But now I'm not doing mental work. I do things like picking up the phone, following up on emails, and I'm like definitely there going to people, programs, colleagues, people who need my help with other things. That's when I do it. I remember at a meeting, I had this conversation with one of the other staff, and they were like, "Oh, so you have social afternoons?" And I was like, "What's social afternoon?" It was like exactly what you described. You do all your hard work in the morning, and then like you in the afternoon you do all the other easy stuff. And I didn't even know there was something like that. So that works pretty well for me, and I've done that. And even with COVID, even though it's messed up my schedule, every time I'm kind of like tweaking it, because the world we live in now is not it's an uncertain world is what the word is. So anyway, hope that little spill about how I work in the office helps you. I don't know how it works for you, but pre-COVID, I get into the office, you're like putting your bags down, you're talking to people, you're looking through your planner, your calendar to make sure that you're on top of what you need to do. And again, and then work starts for me at 9. But in another video, I'll actually record how I set up my day, my next day, the day before, when I'm leaving the office. So back to Other things you could do that will help you focus. You could also use what I call the timer. There's a timer on your phone, and you can set that up in 20 minutes or 10 minutes chunk. Or you could actually go online and use what's called Pomodoro, or just Google Pomodoro or tomato timer, and you'll be able to schedule yourself for like 5 minutes increments. Sometimes you can even do, I think there is a 10 and a 20. So it's pretty much you saying, okay, I know myself, right? So there's something about knowing yourself in all these conversations we're having. So I know myself. I know I can only last at the work I'm doing for like 10 minutes, right? Or like I can only last for 5 minutes. So if you can only last for 5 minutes, you choose a Pomodoro tomato timer for 5 minutes. If you can only last for 10 minutes, choose a 10 minutes. Here's a little word about choosing where you're comfortable with. I challenge you to actually go a little bit further, which is the word we use in our house. And if you're normally a 5 minutes, choose a 10-minute and see how much you can go. And continue doing that every time so that you can increase how you show up for focusing in other areas of life. And I say this as someone who always in the past did the bare minimum. Like I would do the bare minimum of focusing if left on my own self. But now I am my own coach, pushing myself to do more. I remember growing up, like my grandma, like she would have us do stuff when we were younger, and I'll just breeze through it like, you know, any regular kids. And grandma would be like, go back and do it again. Okay, my life. And like in hindsight now, I see what she was trying to teach me, but in those days, I just thought she was just mean. Like there was a time grandma actually had me peel yam. I'll never forget that day. Grandma makes her own is it amala? Amala. She makes her own amala. So she'll peel the yam, and then the skin of the yam, she'll dry it, and once she dried it, then she'll blend it, and bam, there's amala. Don't ask me about the process. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find something. But that's how grandma made amala. Anyway, so which reminds me, the next time I peel yam, I am going to save. I'm going to save the skin and make amala. Okay. So, and then grandma, one time, and I'm sure not one time, all the time, I'll make the amala, I'll peel the yam, and then I will take, along with the skin of the yam, I'll take yam with it. And that's what my grandma would now tell me to go back. This is my grandma on my dad's side. She was so mean, is what I thought when I was growing up. And then she would have me now go back and scrape the yam off of the skin of the peel, if that makes sense. Anyway, all that to say, do more than the bare minimum, okay? Like if you know you can do 5 minutes, go further. Let me tell you, the way that athletes make it in life, the way that the people that you see, the 100 out of 100 on Forbes, or the 20 under 30, they actually push themselves to do more. They're either literally pushing themselves every day, or someone is pushing them. And with actual practice, you can actually be the one pushing yourself. And you know what? Shout out to Noah Adeye for always pushing us to go a little bit further on the field when we were exercising together there in COVID. Like it'd literally be right behind me with that finger, be like, keep moving, keep moving. And so like in my head sometimes, like even when I'm running now, like I'll be like, okay, a little bit further, a little bit further. So find something that symbolizes not where you can be, but something that can take you further, and then use it every time you feel like just doing the minimum to push yourself forward. Okay, hope that was helpful. And the other thing, okay, like I said earlier, we'll leave what you can do the day before to prep for the next day until another video. But pretty much it's you taking a notebook and documenting what you did the day that just ended and where you need to pick up from the next day. And the reason why I'm just saying that now and not making it like a big video, not making you wait for a big video reveal that I'll do later, is literally because for me, I just feel like people, if you have the information, just share the information and don't make me come watch another YouTube video for it. So I'm just practicing what I preach, and that's pretty much it. Get a notebook. I'm about to go home. Okay, this is what I finished. This is what I didn't finish. Tomorrow when I come in, I stopped at T. So tomorrow when I come in, I'm gonna what's after T? T-U. I'm gonna pick up from you. Pretty much, you do that for everything you worked on, and that's it. All right. What else? What else? Let me keep looking at my notes. And I believe that is everything that I wanted to share about how to stay focused or how to concentrate for a long period of time to get the things that you need to do done. And again, if this video has been helpful, please subscribe. I'm trying to get this YouTube channel to 100. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, don't forget that we have the Parent of Immigrant Origin Parent Engagement Workshop coming up October 22nd at 11 a.m. You can email hello@shelovesgoodthings.com to get a Zoom link and be on our newsletter to get future information about She Loves Good Things, about loving the work you do, and about all the other fun projects that I'll be working on in the future. And for you to get the inspiration you need to keep going at what you want to bring to life. So again, I hope this video has been helpful. And do you have a question for me? Is there something that you'd love me to talk about? You can always find me talking about things, education, or what else do I talk about? I talk about education. I love talking about money. I love talking about developmental disabilities, but most especially how ADHD and anxiety show up in everyday life, because again, they don't write it on your forehead that you have ADHD or that you have anxiety or that you have dyslexia, but those things do have a way of either showing up in our lives, or either because for some reason we had them due to trauma, or we got it because of a life change that happened. It could even be a medical condition that made you have your ADHD or your anxiety. But I just want you to know that you can power through it. I power through it every day. I love seeing my therapist. I love using my non-stimulant meds. I love doing meditation to help my brain. And I love, love, love praying and doing worship. It also helps my ADHD and my anxiety. But anyway, comment below what you'd like to hear about in the future, and I'll be sure to record a video for you. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Have a great day.